Hello, you're welcome to Opinion Sharers. My name is Paul. And just in case you're just joining us, please I ask that you share the link, help us share the link so that we invite people to join the discussion, to join the conversation tonight. Tosin is going to be joining us, and currently I have the village boy in the studio. So we'll be talking about the role of religious institutions in politics in Nigeria. If you notice, if you follow the news, especially our own new area, I mean, new ways of getting news now, which is social media, you find out that there have been several religious leaders who have been in the news lately talking about politics, addressing directly politicians in Nigeria. And in fact, many of them, I mean, some of them, a few of them have been on fire. A few of them have also been encouraged. So that's what we're going to be discussing today. There was a particular Islamic scholar or an imam in a mosque in Abuja who was believed to have been sacked, removed from his mosque because he said some things about the insecurity situation in Nigeria, particularly the train attack, the Kaduna bound train attack. I think he mentioned specifically that uh, President Buhari failed Nigerians. And so I learned there was a committee that ganged up and removed him. And I think that was just before we heard Baba Adeboye also speaking passionately, maybe during one of the Holy Ghost services, saying that why is it that, questioning rhetorically, asking rhetorically what is wrong in Kaduna? Why is it that, is there a particular group of persons that is responsible for blockading Kaduna or the North? So these are a few some of the things that we are going to be discussing tonight. So please let's quickly take a few seconds to share the link. I'm going to just take my phone now, so I'm going to quickly go grab the link and share it. So please, if you are joining us, thank you for joining us. Thank you for tuning in. Please do get the link and share. Please help us share the link. Share. I have the village boy in the house. He's not going to be alone because Tosin is on his way. He's going to join us shortly. So I'm going to be sharing from here too. Please share. If you're joining us, if you're just joining us, do help us share the link, please. I beg. So Village Boy already share, I can see. So I'm also going to share now. Let me share to some groups. So Village Boy, while we wait for Tosin, can you please introduce yourself?
Thank you. Okay. Thank you, the village boy.
Okay, so I'm sure you've heard about the intro. I mean, the issues that I mentioned in the intro. What's your perspective when you heard about that, particularly about that imam that was removed in Abuja?
Yeah, kind of in the picture of what is going on, and the news is awash with what happened. I also had the privilege of watching some of the clips of where the guy was The man was making his opinion known. Uh, in it all, he was still very respectful of the office of the president, and I think it's what we may call the classical of speaking the truth to the power. So, because what's the essence of governance? What's the essence of electing somebody to represent our interests? When our interest is, jeopardized, and why it seems that nobody is in charge. If in a city or in a state, within a span of days, first the airport, then the train, and the road blockade. So if the three major means of transportation were, you know, flagrantly, you know, uh, taken over by insurgency, terrorists, bandits, whatever name you have to call them, but these are not government operations, operatives rather. If they can easily, go to an international airport and, you know, did what they did, and they move from there to the train station and then to the road, and nothing is happening. We didn't see any case of Operation Python dance or crocodile dance. We didn't see any of those. I think it's called to reason for people of goodwill to ask questions. Again, we know what the current president said when he was campaigning that, hey, give me your mandate. In few moments, I will clear off all this insecurity. Unfortunately, it has heightened. And of course, there has been this argument, or people have been saying tones rather, that religious leaders are complicit, in the situation in the country. And for one to dare the consequence and come out to speak, the guy was very bold. I give him that courage. He showed sense of courage. And of course, I noticed his tone was not condescending. He was very respectful. He understood the the dignity that is accorded that office. And I think he gave the required respect to the office. And of course, uh, the office is higher than the person occupying it. But then again, the reaction was, to me, was not an unexpected. Our people have said over and over, we believe so much in vendetta, and it has also become very clear that we have become very intolerant of truth. But it's also a contradiction if somebody that is called a Gaskia is actually somebody, a truthful person. If you are a truthful person, shouldn't you love the truth? So, well, we can still have the usual excuses. Oh, the president is not aware. Of course, he may not. He may not have listened to the sermon. He may not even be aware of all the actions that have been taken. But at least subsequently, I would have expected that he would have received some security report about such incident, because um, they may present one side of the something to him. The honor is for him to dig deep, because they will say, okay, because of the position of the imam, is capable of inciting the public against the president. So that is usually the argument. And that argument, no matter how feasible it may be, the fact remains that the state of insecurity in Nigeria today is worse than before the president took over. And this is easy for a blind person to see. So I don't know why we can continue with somebody continue to pretend that that does not exist. So, yeah, but then can we say what the mom said, or what the Pastor Deboya said represents the complete view of religious institutions in Nigeria? It is yes and no, because yeah, these other people, they occupy very respectable position in the religion, within the religious institutions. But again, it's just I believe they still speak more as individuals. They spoke as individuals, not as collective. That's my opinion, and that opinion is neither here nor there.
Well, if you say they speak as they speak an opinion, but they spoke while on their altar, right? And if they speak while on their altar, I believe that they speak on behalf of the congregation or on behalf of their office, right?
Well, they could have spoken about the office. Did they speak about because if you say they speak about the congregation, well, that is also could be true because whatever they are complaining, it could have been as a result of reports, comments made by their members. So, because most of those issues, maybe these two gentlemen may not have been directly affected. They are in their own way. They are well secured. They are well fed. They don't. Poverty is very far away from them. But then for them to have come out and speak about the downtrodden, yeah, in that regard, I can completely agree with you that they speak on behalf of their congregation. That
What
may
is
be
your
true.
opinion regarding the ideology of separation of the church and the state? That was a topic that I studied during my bachelor's program.
Well, I like I said, you know, I did comparative religion. I'm also comfortable with that.
Okay.
That has a historical precedence, which dated back to King Henry the Fourth, I think, because he wanted to marry to do a remarry, and the Catholic Church then said no, you cannot, and he wanted to marry the wife of his uncle, late uncle, or something like that, uh, and the Catholic Church said no, you cannot do that. That is actually what gave birth to the Church of England, which is called Anglican today, and that Church of England was a marriage of the church and the political institution, the monarchy and the church. So that is where it started, and that is, I mean, the sole foundation of the church and religion being married together. And it was purpose of the king marrying the person of his choice. So, I mean, I'm sorry, I have to take you back to that level. And since then, but for speaking seriously, for a nation that like Nigeria that on paper call itself a secular state, there shouldn't even be an argument. There shouldn't be a discussion of whether the state and the church should be separate, or whether the church and the state and the religious church should be separate. As a secular state, there should be that should be clear dichotomy between the church and the state, because we are not a monolithic society. So, but in practice, we do know that, for instance, in most states in the north, a substantive number of sponsorship to perform to go to Mecca every year. It's part of the budget. Actually, it's part of a budget line. There is a budget. It's a budget item line, for pilgrimage sponsorship. So the line is very blur, despite that the fact that we claim that we are secular states. So I think the states um, usually seek the favor of religion institution. So because of their favor they extend, it's a marriage of convenience between the two. So and yes, we may say they should be separate. Ideally, they should be separate, especially when you think of Nigeria as a secular state. But the secularity of that secular state is also another issue for serious debate. How secular are we? The only religion that is not sponsored by government in Nigeria is the traditional religion, perhaps. or that is not openly sponsored. I think there might be some people who are, they might be doing it, using a security vote to do that. But it's not a line budget. It's not a budget item. But for religion, for Christianity in some states, they sponsor, they use state money to sponsor people to Jerusalem for pilgrimage. But it may not be as rampant as in the north. It's an open secret in the north that every year, those who go to perform pilgrimage in Mecca, Medina, whatever, a substantial percentage are on government payroll or government sponsorship. So, so how separate is the state and religion? You won't call it church now because when it's called church, you are talking about Christianity, and now people have the
Yeah, I know.
capability of misinterpreting every word. You better say the separation between the religion institutions, and the state.
Yeah, I just wanted to make reference to that particular concept, which is taught in social sciences, which is known as the separation of state. I mean, the church and the state. So when I mentioned the church in that statement, I was actually referring to the whole institution of religion, or body of religion, as it were. Now, moving away from that, or moving forward, we are not moving away tonight. We are moving forward from that. Do you think, Tosin, you're welcome. You came a little bit late, and the discussion has been the role of religious organizations in politics in Nigeria. And I've asked questions. I mean, asked the village boy about a concept that is discussed in, especially in bachelor's program. If you study social sciences, we talk about separation between the religious institutions and the state, which is the government. So, do you think, in your opinion as a Nigerian, do you think the business, the church or the religious institutions have no business talking about the politics?
Talking about politics.
Yeah, as in interfering, like a giving statement on the church, in the mosque, or in the shrine, influencing politics, influencing people's opinion about politics, about government. Should there be
They
separation?
No, there should not be separation. They can put mouth. There should not be separation. Because I'll be talking in the concept of Nigeria. Because Nigeria, we are religious people, and our religious leaders too, our GOs, our sheikh, we hold them in high esteem. We see them, most people see them as somebody that is perfect, which is not true. We see them as somebody that is without but, which is not true. So for this, most people want to hear from them, and to this extent, they should put mouth in politics. They should interfere in politics. Uh, they should put mouth in politics. They should interfere in politics. Uh, how can I do that? So they should put mouth in politics. I will do that later. So because most people look up to them, and as we have said, that the business remain the same. It's the business of
Tosin,
yeah.
okay, I think that your fan was becoming too.
How is it? Is it better now?
It's better now. Okay.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
like my popular saying that the business is monkey see, monkey do, and that a lot of people don't have opinion of their own, and they are looking up to people they see as mentors, like spiritual fathers, spiritual mothers, uh, people they look up to. Not only those people. Okay, let's talk about religious leader for today. So now these people look up to religious leaders, and if they don't hear from them, they will not get guidance, and they are bound to become prey in the hands of politicians. Because however you want it, whether a religious leader talks about it or no, politicians are there to engage our people. So the only thing is the religious leaders that are talking about it, how correct are they, or their opinion, is it a selfish opinion, or is an opinion that will better the society? And this afternoon, a statement just dropped in my mind. The GO of Redeemed Christian Church of God, Daddy Adeboye, he's been in the news recently talking about politics, encouraging his people to go into politics. Then I think he's getting overexcited about the accolades that is coming from him. Then he said that God has not told him there will be election in 2023. For me, I think that is over the bar because uh well, I think it's over the bar because God has not told you there's going to be election. That does not mean there's not going to be election or there's going to be election. Uh, and even in statement, he said by this time in the previous election that this time God has not told him, and it was a later month God told him there's going to be election. So he should just relax. No need of making some careless statements. And because of this, I've made some posts on my own page, and people have been reacting to it and saying there's no election 2023, there's no election 2023. See, we should not discourage people trying to disenfranchise them against the coming election. Religious leaders should talk about politics because politics determine our lives. Politics even determine the life of their church. It is not everything prayer and fasting will solve. Many things.
Okay, Justin, wait first before
Uh,
you continue. Let me take you a little bit aback. Village boy,
okay.
when you look at the we you know, a lot of us believe that, quote unquote, the Nigerian politics is it is murky. It's like a murky water. It is dirty. It is we believe that our politicians are highly corrupt. Now my question is this: would you do you think our religious institution has not been caught up in this so-called corruption?
Well, thank you very much. I think the answer the Joseph gave first, let me start from there. It's like it's looking at it is looking it from the mindset of an influencer, which is the new thing in social media. Maybe because himself is an influencer, you think that you see Nigerian I mean religious leaders as influencers. Well, that may be true, but that has nothing to do with the subject of separation of the church and the state. They are different ballgame. They are different subject matter completely altogether. We should be very mindful of that. Yes, if they can speak to their people, encouraging them, because we don't have civic education again. In those when we have civic education in school, we as citizens are taught their rights, their obligations to the state, the right to vote and to be voted for, and stuff like that. Because those things are no longer there. So maybe that's why maybe on that trajectory we can say, okay, maybe it's what they say is a bit right. Uh, your question again, Paul. Sorry, I've deviated from your question. Sorry.
Okay. My question is that we know that our politicians,
Okay,
you
talking
know,
about corruption, I got it now.
yeah,
So,
yes.
you see, the truth is that if the foundation you know, be wrong, if the foundation be destroyed, what can the righteous do? That's what the scripture says. When we talk of corruption in Nigeria today, those of us who are a bit older, we know that people who identify with religion today are more than it was 40 years ago. Conversely, the level of righteousness we had 40 years ago, we are not anything close to it today. So, meaning, if we talk about corruption today, if you want to use, say, okay, what is the percentage of Nigerians that are corrupt today? There may not be real statistics to confirm it, but I'm not sure that you can get 10% of Nigerians that are not corrupt. 10%. So then, if you want to use that logic, I want to use that logic to answer your question. Are you saying that religious, those who are religious in Nigeria are less than 10%? If the answer is no, that the religious people in Nigeria might be close to 95%, those who openly converse as atheists in Nigeria are not actually up to 1%. So we meaning that by the same logic, 99% of Nigerians will claim to be religious, right? Okay, if 99% are religious and the country, according to Cameroon, is fantastically corrupt, it means nobody, religious or no religious, all institutions are corrupt, including religious institutions. We have seen people taking themselves to court. We have seen pastor embezzling money in the church. We have seen usher under declaring collections. There is no story we've not had. Funds are diverted. So the truth is that it is like the hand of a leper. That's what corruption is. So which of the fingers is not affected by leprosy? You have to bring out the leper to look at the 10 fingers. But before you call somebody a leper, it means that a substantial number of the fingers have been attacked by leprosy. Corruption is a leprosy in Nigeria, and I'm not sure any institution is spared in the affection of leprosy. There may be individual upright men and women in spite of their religious affiliation. Mark that word, in spite of their religious affiliation, there might be upright men and women. Go to government offices. There are imams, there are pastors. In these government offices, who openly demand bribe? So what are we talking about? Corruption has affected everywhere. I'm not sure there's any institution, education, religious, whatever, that has not been affected by that leprosy hand of corruption. That's my humble submission. That
Quickly, which one do you think is more powerful? The political institution or the religious institution?
the real power or the fake power?
The real power.
All powers belong to God. But in Nigeria, sincerely speaking, politics is at the apex of control. Politics rule our life. Because politics is where there is policy are made. Politics is what determines the kind of school you can go. It's politics that determine the road you will fly. Religious institution will not build road. Religious institution, when they build school, they even price it out of the common person. Religious institution, when they build hospital, it is elitist. Politics is the one that sits on our commonwealth. What religious does is to cajole us to part with the little change in our pocket that is not sufficient to take care of us. Of course, during politics, during election, politicians will go and kneel down before political fathers and mothers to be prayed for. All is boju boju. You know what is boju boju? Interpret that in English. So that gives the religious leader this aura of power. Oh, the president who came to kneel before me. But
The
the moment
perception of power or
the
the
perception of
perceived.
the passive power, but because like they will say in the the politician is looking for what he will eat. So the moment the politician needs your vote, he is the most humble person. They
Hmm.
will be eating corn with the common man. They will sit down with people that are drinking or pie, like fire will do. They will be carrying granite like Milaye will be carrying. But let them get to power. They will show, even if you look at what they did to Sanusi, I
Hmm.
mean, at his pedigree, they remove him like Jiga from office. And it's not Saturday. The late Alafio, you had to go to exile. The late Olagbegi went to exile. Then later he came back. So politics sit over everything. Politics is at the apex of control. Hmm?
Okay, let me ask Tosin this question. Feel free to decline, Tosin. It's a statement, okay? Politicians corrupted religious institutions versus religious institutions corrupted politicians. Which one is true?
Again, please.
Politicians corrupted the religious institutions versus religious institutions corrupted politicians.
Politician corrupted religion institution.
Why
Like
and how?
like the village boys are in his submission says though it's not even though a fact is all power belongs to God, but the the politician have more power than the church. So the church will not cannot might not be able to pollute them. Either ways they can pollute the church. Uh in some time ago I made a post that
Not just
whenever
the church, the religious institutions, I mean.
the religious
So,
institution, sorry,
please, yeah.
sometime ago I made a post and I said in that post that whenever our government are ready to fix Nigeria, every Nigeria will sit right, including religious leaders. And that is what happened in Rwanda when the president is ready to fix that part of the country. Every one of them sit right, sit up. So re- our our politician, they have a lot of power, and even the religious leaders are one of their subjects that they can deal with. But because they know the religious leaders, a lot of their followers want to see them endorsing a politician, especially when election is coming. So they go to them, kneel down, pray, and all that, so as to look like this powerful man of God has endorsed this person, and this person that is seems powerful man of God that is hearing directly from God. If he had endorsed this person, that means God has endorsed this person. So politicians, they are the one corrupting the church because what they want, the numbers. They knows that the religious leaders has the numbers, and that's one of the problem with Buhari and the Shiite in Kaduna some time ago. Actually, that problem did not happen when uh, the minister of defense minister, when he is passing and there's possession of the Shiites. That problem didn't happen that day. That problem had happened during the electioneering, the election, the campaign of Buhari first time that he was attacked in that state. So, religious politicians, they are the one that corrupt religious leader, and That is why all of us must pick much interest in politics, because when our government sit up, when our government is ready to fix the country, everybody will sit up, including religious leader, including everybody will sit up when they see an atom of seriousness in our politician, in our government. But if we continue to have politicians that wants to have power only to be in power, not do anything, and that's my submission. They are the one that is corrupt, and their corruption that is making. I'm not exonerating religious leaders from being corrupt. By the way, I'm not saying that they are upright. They are all upright, or they are all saint or just. No, but I'm saying that politicians have most power, so it is the horns is on them. They have most power. If a politician want to fix the state now, when Amechi, it's not Amechi, the new governor now in Anambra State, he wants to fix the country and the state. He said no more excess taxes. All the boys going around the market giving people, uh, collecting owole, taxes that doesn't go into government's pocket. He stopped all of them, and they don't have any choice than to comply. So
Miss
before
Oludo.
him, Soludo, yes, thank you, sir. Charles Soludo. Before him, a governor just left last month, and he's watching them. And they keep growing by the day and keep taxing the people, and people were suffering under that governor. And he didn't do anything. So whenever our government are ready to fix the country, everybody will drop every iota of corruption they have in them, and they will sit right.
Okay, thank you, Tosin. Village boy, my question to you would be: do you think religious institutions have role? Let's try to identify some of their roles in politics, and beyond politics in fixing Nigeria. Maybe at least I'm believing, that at least some of the areas they can play a role is in the area of attitude modification or attitudinal change. But generally, what's your opinion?
Uh, yes, what you say is right, but the basic principle here is that you cannot give what you don't have. And it's clear, if you want me to go biblically, I will tell you righteousness is such a nation, sin is a reproach to people. Now, since the incursion of prosperity preaching into the Nigerian church, for instance, unfortunately, most of these are even being copied by Muslims now, because there's a Muslim woman in Niger State that is conducting deliverance service. You would think it is MFM that you are watching. So they
I'm
copy each
sure
other.
that lady was in Kerubu before or MFM.
So the thing here is this: the church. Let me take you back when people like us, when we first believe. What did they teach us? They teach us the fear of God. They teach us righteousness. They teach us more about the second coming of Christ. They teach us to run away from sin. The emphasis was not on money. Unfortunately, there was also extreme people believe that the poorer you are, the more the more righteous you are.
I
That is
wanted
one.
to I
That
wanted
is
to say
that
that
is
it
one
wasn't all good.
that if your shoe is pointing upstairs and you have a lot of post office around your shoe because of long overuse, then you must be a very righteous person. That was an extreme. Poverty and righteousness are not necessarily co-travelers, because the scripture says God give us power to make wealth. But if you look at the scripture very well, too, you will discover that there are guidelines for sellers. Bible talk about first weight and all that. All those things that God frowned against. That you shall not defraud your fellow human being. All those things today have been pushed aside because The emphasis is like our God is not a poor God. Yes, that can also be established in the scripture that Christ was made poor so that we can be made rich. But Christ did not tell us we should not work. Christ did not say, bring your January salary so that you will get promoted during the year. No, that is not. He said, see a man diligent at his work. Diligence. He will stand before king and not mere men. All those principles of righteousness, taking care of the widows, taking care of the fatherless, we have left all those ones and we are focusing on making money by whatever means. And if the preaching is telling you, again, there's also the cultural aspect of it, small work, big money. Everything has been fused together. That is why a 17-year-old will want to do small work and blow. I will go and kill his girlfriend to blow. See, there are a lot of moral education is no longer there. The basic, but the truth is that before the church can play a significant role to change what we call moral renaissance, the family, we have to go back to the family. Charity begins at home. If we neglect the family and we think church or must we fix society, we are deceiving ourselves. The fixing starts from the home, then to the church. The church, the mosque, whatever, they play important role in society, no doubt about that. But like I said earlier, if the foundation be destroyed, there's nothing the righteous can do. So now, again, there are factors you have to, I'm not a sociologist, but I have sufficient knowledge by observation that the economic downturn in the early 90s, late 80s to early 90s, changed the trajectory completely. People, when they have come out of school, polytechnic, college of education, university, and they cannot find job after some time, suddenly you hear that they receive call of God to become a minister. So they turn this into business. So most of them, they become religious leader because of economic situation.
Do we see the same? Do we see the same in Islam?
I think the arrangement of Islam, in that regard, I may not be. I must admit, I may not be that knowledgeable about it. I've not taken time to study it or to observe it either before I left Nigeria. So please permit me not to be able to comment on that because I would not want to give idea about what I don't know. But then, what I know in Nigeria is that you will see a lot of similarity. For instance, when this VG started in Lagos Ibadan Road, the Muslim quickly established NASFAT, and they just few kilometers away from MFM. So when MFM is doing their vigil on Saturday, on Friday, they are also doing their own. So there's cross-pollination between the two religions as far as Nigeria is concerned. So to that extent,
I think it's a subtle or
it may not be as well pronounced.
A more direct competition.
Yeah, so economic situation is actually responsible for most of this, and these people don't know. There is even no moral constraint on them, and most of the preaching are more of not based on the Bible as it were. They are simple philosophy. In fact, you may even call them motivational speaking. Well, I mean, motivational. Sorry,
Village boy, This village boy don't change the course. Even though my question was, what are the roles that they could
Yeah,
play?
yeah. The role they can
but
play. Okay, the role they can play is like there's much role they can play, but if the family level situation is not fixed, that role may not be easy to play.
the truth is that there are many Nigerians today who would rather listen to and obey their pastors or imam instruction than that of their parents.
Are they really obeying? Because the pastor, the imam, is telling them easy way out of life, and they like that.
Yeah, of course.
The Bible says in the end time, that shall perilous time, people will go to those who tell them what they want to hear, not necessarily the truth. Nigeria today, I can tell you, nobody obeys anybody. People obey things that is convenient for them. So if I
That
tell you the
means
hard truth,
you are excusing the religious institutions in
I'm not
Nigeria.
excusing any. I'm not excusing them. What I'm saying is that the much they can do will depend on how well we can rebuild the family. If the family um, dynamics is rebuilt, yes, because the truth is that who will appeal to the religious leader now to stop preaching prosperity? If you establish your own church, let us look beyond the established bigger churches, Catholic, Anglican, and perhaps Redeemer and Foursquare. Let us look beyond those ones. There are so many mushroom of these churches that are established solely because of economic factor. How are you going to tell that guy to preach righteousness, to preach hard work, to preach patience, to let their member know that okay, in January, because January is always 45 days, any member who may not be able to meet his finance should come to the church for assistance. Can that happen?
Please, village boy, wait. Let me talk to Tosin. You can continue that, but we are going to close in a few minutes. So I want Tosin. Tosin, this is like a more direct question to you, but I want you to, whether yes or no, I want you to explain.
No attack.
Okay.
Oh.
Are you afraid of attack now?
you don't fear now, Abi.
I
Don't
thought
put
you
me
Uh,
get
on the
I
spot
thought you
now.
get a yeta now.
so do you think Nigerian religious institutions, do you think they have power to influence politics in Nigeria? If
Yes,
yes,
they do.
if yes, how?
They do. And that is what they have started doing recently by the Redeemed Church asking their members to get PVC. The House on the Rock also, a lot of pastors have started speaking now. Before now, we have some of them that are speaking also, in fairness to them. Uh, Prior to the election 2015, Bishop Oyedepo was, because we are Christians, so we might talk more of the Christendom. And also we can talk about the Muslims too. We have this digital imam, the Sheikh in Abuja, that was suspended some days ago. So religious leader, they can sure influence politics in Nigeria. And it is very good that recently every one of them, I think now most of them have been affected by the situation of things in Nigeria, so they start speaking. In the build up to 2015 election, we have the Bishop
What do you
Oyedepo that
mean
was.
by they are being affected?
The economy is very bad now. Everybody is being affected. The economy is very bad. In the last 1 month, we have had the nation total blackout at least twice. In the last 1 month, total blackout means every noon and cranny of Nigeria lights go off. It happens just yesterday. So everybody is being affected now. So the religious leader can sure influence politics and they can sure influence politics. We have a lot of them speaking up now, and they are, as they are influencers, they are role model to a lot of people. They have many church branches around Nigeria, so they can, the Redeemed Church alone, their branches is more, the numbers of branches they have all around Nigeria is more than the local government we have. I think it's even more than the polling units we have all around Nigeria. So they can influence politics. The other church, the Winners Church, also some time ago they are building 10,000 churches around Nigeria. So these people can influence politics in Nigeria.
And
Because to an
almost
extent,
all the major districts and streets in the north and in the southwest has a mosque.
as a mosque, yeah. And it is very good also to see the digital imam. That is the nickname they call him, digital imam. It is good to see him also speaking up from the Muslim point of view, also telling the government, not even mentioning him, but telling the government what to do, telling them that the life of their citizens do matter and that they should protect them. And even when it's not mentioned him, they find his preaching very offensive, and they sack the guy. So you will see that they, even politician, they knows that religious leader has the power to influence politics in Nigeria. And I want to also employ religious leader to use this power, especially as we move into 2023. We have seen a lot of them talking now. There's this Itua. Pastor Itua also is speaking. We don't, it's not all about giving politician your platform to come shout hallelujah, kneeling down before you and all that. I think by now people like Father Mbaka also, they must have learned their lesson. So it is not enough to just bring them to your church and all that. No, talk sense into their head. And apart from talking sense to their head, tell your members, wake up the understanding of your member to begin to participate in election, to begin to go and get their own PVC. Many pastors have started preaching this, and this is very lovely because in time past, these religious leaders are not really encouraging their members to participate in politics, and that is why we have a lot of hooligans, a lot of tout that are politicians in Nigeria, and they don't have that doesn't have the conscience of the people. We are not saying everybody in church are saints, but we are saying that it will be more okay if the number of people that are not that are in that believe in religious leaders and believe in religion, uh, and are going to church or mosque, if those people now start taking interest in politics, because most of these people are in the middle class of Nigeria, and these are the people that the vacuum is there. They have not been participating in election in the time past, and leaving the artisans and the market men and women onto making them prey in the hands of politicians. So if these people will wake up
Closing.
and start participating in election, then we have a way forward. Yes, sir.
We will close in 3 minutes. So I want you to quickly answer this question, yes or no. The village boy, I will ask you too. The Nigeria of today, do you think religious institutions have contributed to it? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Village boy.
And only yes or
Let
no?
him finish his explanation. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
village
have.
boy. Yeah,
Okay.
wait, I'll come back to you. You would use your own how as the concluding statement, the same thing with village boy. But I want village boy to answer yes or no first.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Tosin, oh yeah, quickly round off with your response to that.
Okay. The reason I said yes is that for I said earlier now, but that they have started speaking, and the reason for the yes is that they have taken too long before they start speaking. Nǹkan ti bàjẹ́ kọjá half. things don't spoil past half. So, but nevertheless, it is not late. Another thing is the preaching of accusation of wealth and display of wealth and all that, instead of the preaching of being models. Even though some of them that are preaching modesty, their own kids are not model. So I saw a picture on the internet today of a particular church in Nigeria that asks people to be throwing away their Deeper Life Church, and there's a picture of the kid of that the owner of the church during our wedding. The lady during her wedding, how she relaxed her hair, she used earring, her clothes was transparent, she was holding banquet flower. And another picture of their member during our wedding, that she's just in dabule, so in a gown. So
she,
our
she's
religious
in
leader,
double.
our religious leader,
Oh yeah,
they
Tosi, oh yeah, just round up, please.
in
Stop share,
conclusion,
please. Yeah.
they participated to what we have today, because a lot of people going to church are not hearing what they should be hearing. But if by now they are changing to asking people to participate in politics and all that, then they are waking up to reality.
All right, thank you, Village Boy.
Yeah, now you ask me whether Nigeria, my church, this religion are contributed to corruption. And I use analogy to answer your question. If you say that less than 10% of Nigeria are upright, living uprightly, so where are the 90% from? From Mars? So if Nigeria level of corruption has affected almost everywhere, so you cannot exonerate the religious institution as well. We are all like what lawyer because called contributory negligence. Everybody, including religious institution, are contributed, has contributed to where we are. We are not where we should be. So that's why the yes, that's everybody. The family, the religious institution, the political institution, the elite, everybody is a culprit of the corrupt situation we find ourselves. That's what Nigeria today. Tell me one thing that is working. Tell me one thing that is working. Everybody is a government on its own. So
Yeah, unfortunately. Anyway, thank you very much for coming tonight and sharing this issue of the role of religious institutions in Nigeria in politics. And I want to believe that we've done some good discussions tonight, and I hope that there will be improvement. Somebody is asking about update, work permit update. I think Tosin was telling me in the afternoon that some people are going, so but that we should wait till next week to hear complete update. So, Mr. Kolawole, I I would advise that you wait till next week. Hopefully, that there is going to be some good news.
Whenever people
Better
see
than
my face on the screen is update, I'm tired.
it shouldn't be that. That's the price of leadership.
yeah,
But
it is
it is
well.
not the thing is, it is not only work permits that Nigeria face. It's not the only problem Nigerians are facing in UAE. The problem Nigerians are
For
facing in
now,
UAE
the concern and
are
average
numerous.
in Nigeria, the concern of every Nigerian in UAE is about work permits. You
Yeah,
please,
Yeah.
you are playing a voluntary job. You are doing a good job.
mm,
Don't be tired.
we
And
are not even
no,
tired. But
but what I want you to understand the psychology of the people.
mm,
Ibi tó bá ń tuni là ń gbé tiná. So it's weird that it's you that you put near the fire. I don't know. So ibi tó bá ti ń duni là ń kọ́ tiná. So this is their pain, and we should empathize with them. Please, I beg you. I know you are in the heat of it. I'm begging you as an elder person. bear with them for this moment, please, please, and thank you for what you are doing.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
Thank you, sir.
that's
Sometimes it's
very
just
important.
annoying. Some
Yeah,
people, even
thank
when
you
you
for
are
what you are
discussing
I
doing.
say
some
make you no
other,
verse, no verse.
Thank you for what you are doing. There is nothing like being annoyed. So
thank you, sir.
we want to appreciate you guys for what you are doing on the my cup of tea, and I know it's not easy. It can be draining, and I also want to say kudos to our brothers and sisters in Abu Dhabi, in UAE generally, who have weathered the situation. We've come this long, okay? We've come thus far, and I believe that it can only be better. So, thank you for being with us today. We hope that Nigeria will be better because, as Nigeria is, it's affecting those of us that are abroad, if perhaps even more. Because you think you have escaped, only for the thing to be raising its ugly head wherever you go. Anywhere you carry your bag, they say you are a Nigerian. Oh, you cannot go easily like that. So anyway, and so that's why we must continue to advocate. We must continue to agitate. We must continue to do whatever it is that we can contribute to ensure that Nigeria becomes a better nation that we can call home, such that we can also be accorded the respect that we deserve wherever we go as Nigerians. So, on this note, we are going to close tonight. Thank you for all that has watched. Please help us share the link. Share, share, share. It doesn't cost you anything to share. And if you find yourself on YouTube, we are there. Please do subscribe to our channel. That's all you can do to support us. It only requires just your email address. And so, thank you very much. We will be back again next weekend. We all have uh, some important tasks that we need to attend to immediately. Thank you. Bye bye for now. Good evening.